Fox News alert. We now know 9 Democrats have voted to break the filibuster, which is how many were needed. The vote is still open. They only needed 8. They're already to 9. The total vote has to get to 60. So we're still watching that, and we'll continue to keep you updated on that in the Senate. But now joining me is the founder of Turning Point US, Charlie Kirk. What's up, Charlie?
Will, great to see you. Thanks for having me, man.
I'm glad to have you. I haven't spoken to you personally. I know you were with Sean Hannity the other night. You sat down with Gavin Newsom. You sat down on his inaugural episode for his new podcast, let's call it his mainstream washing back into politics. You came out of that going, he's clearly running for president. And what I think you said that was correct is we better take him seriously.
Oh, yes. Everyone should be very beware. Look, he understands one thing about the Democrat Party that most other Democrats don't quite recognize, that their ideas are not going to work in a midterm or a general election. Now, we must understand that Gavin Newsom is a terrible governor, one of America's worst, if not America's worst, and very, very slippery. But he has very good political instincts where he knows on the issue, for example, of men and female sports, that they have to move to the middle on that he has to try to calm down some of the radical open border rhetoric. I don't believe any of his, just like he has any, that this is a true conversion. But I do think it's interesting because there's a debate going on within the Democrat Party right now of whether or not they're going to moderate themselves or are they going to double down on their core, out-of-touch, unpopular progressive values. And you look at the very fundamental issue of should biological men be able to play in women's sports? Just for saying that he agrees with me on his podcast, he received backlash from major Democrats, from senators, from governors for that very simple statement where 80% of Americans are with us on the common sense side of that issue.
You know, Charlie, for me, he comes off as nakedly and transparently ambitious and nakedly and transparently politician, but that doesn't mean he's bad at it. He's good at it. And look, you go everywhere. You go to college campuses. You take everyone on in debate, which I love and respect. I have to say he was ready to not to take you on, but there's a bravery because you're really good at this, Charlie. You're really good at debating. And I thought one of his tactics was really smart. Own it. Own French laundry. Own the mistakes. You got to own it because it's a loser for you as a politician.
I agree, and he has talent in the sense where, at least for the sense that he can dialogue with someone on the other side, bring them in, at least present himself as a moderate, and he knows that he has to then eventually run for president in 2028 as the governor of California. There's no record to run on there. I mean, what are you going to run on? The lackluster response on fires, the highest cost of living in the country, the second highest home prices, the most homeless, one of the highest tax rates, the greatest wealth inequality in the country. So he's trying to reinvent himself. My encouragement to the American people is do not let him, and understand there's a lot of talent there and willingness for him to run to the middle. However, based on the response, I don't think the base of the Democrat Party is going to tolerate any sort of moderation on these issues. We see a doubling or tripling down on the insanity of the modern Democrat Party.
All right, Charlie Kirk, let's do a much longer conversation, hopefully not in the far too distant future. Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Will.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.